Hey, John here. Here's lick of the day number 93. This is a Petrucci inspired Lydian picking run. As always, you can find a link to the tabs in the description below or by clicking here on the screen. I'm going to play it once slowly and then break it down. Starting on the 3rd fret of the A string. Alright, this lick is built on the C Lydian scale. C Lydian has the same notes as E minor or G major. So if you know those shapes all over the neck, you should be fine. But we hear it from the view of C, so the intervals will be 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. And we start here with a group of 6, ascending 6s. All alternate picks, starting with a downstroke. So we have 3, 5, 7 on the A string and then 4, 5, 7 on the D string. And we shift up, it's not a slide, to the 9th fret, and then we're going to descend the group of 6. So we have 9, 7, 5, 9, 7, 5. And then we shift up again, and now we're going to play 7, 9, 10 on both strings. And now we're going to go into this kind of I would still say it's Petrucci inspired because he uses this kind of sequence a lot as well. But I think he got it from the first Intense Rock video by Paul Gilbert, where basically you play ascending 6s, but instead of staying in one position, you move up one fret, or sorry, one position at a time as well. So one string group plus one position. So you can keep track of this note. So the 5th note in each group of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to start on that one. So you start on 5 on the D string and go up another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then look for the next to the last note. That's where your index finger should be. And you go on like that until you reach the 19th fret. So I'm just going to call out the fret numbers here, but like I said before, you have access to the tabs anyway, so I highly suggest you check that out. But if you just want to follow along here, it's 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10. Then D string, G string is going to be 9, 10, 12, 9, 11, 12. And the G string and the B string will be 11, 12, 14, 12, 13, 15. And then the final string set, B and E, will be 13, 15, 17, 14, 15, 17. And then we do another shift up to the 19th fret, which incidentally is the same shift we do here. There's a little bit of a callback in the lick itself. So, whoops. Only difference here is that here I'm just doing the 6 notes per beat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But when we come up here, sort of shift down to half speeds, we got 3 notes per beat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So make sure that you check out the tabs for that if this sounds confusing. But after this, descending groups of 6, even though it's half tempo, so we have 19, 17, 15, 19, 17, 15. We're going to end up with a bend from the E here. We're going to bend up to the sharp 4 of the key, and then hit the 5th here on the 15th fret, the G note, as this one is ringing. So it can be a bit tricky to get it right, but listen for this note, and then you need to hold that note and add some vibrato if you want to end it the way that I ended it. But it sounds pretty cool over the root note here. So once more from the beginning. Right, practice-wise here, this one's really good for your ascending and descending 6s. So I would start by working on each group individually. So and try to make sure that when you practice this, when you hit the pinky, try to get your index finger in place. Not fretting it like that, but you can actually put it on the string. And same thing when I go to the pinky here, since I'm going to be repeating this. It's a really good practice to do that, because then you will learn to keep your fingers closer to the fretboard in a more logical way, instead of just trying to keep everything down. You're making sure that you prepare each finger. And this is a term that I call finger choreography, and it's really helpful. So another thing is that sort of forces you to practice really slowly, because it's very hard to do this at any type of higher tempo. But the idea is that you train your fingers, and it really works well with all kinds of things. So give it a try. So basically you just want to be one finger ahead the whole time. And the reason why I'm calling out the string changes here is because when you're on a single string, you should really be in line already. You shouldn't be like this, right? So, but if that's the case, then you really need this technique. But you can't really put the finger down when you play something ascending, because then it will kill the string, basically. You just do this. If you look at my index finger, and then when I hit the pinky, you can do that at whatever tempo you can do that, we have control over it. So I like to do this when I work on the transition time anyway. And if you don't know what transition time is, just check out the alternate picking Monday playlist. It's the first video where I explain this concept of practicing slowly but with fast movements. It's a real game changer if you have any issues with synchronization. And you can do the same thing here when you go back with this group. It's a bit trickier here because you can accidentally mute the note of the index finger, but it's just a matter of practice. And you want to do this while being relaxed, if that's not obvious, because fingers flying off the fretboard is a tension problem anyway, because you can't really have your finger out like this if you're relaxed. If you relax, your hand will naturally keep the fingers sort of close to the fretboard. But so you work on each group individually like that, and then you take two groups at a time. So you take the first and second group, second and third, third and fourth, and so on until you've gone through the whole lick basically. And you can do this while deciding on a number of repetitions you want to do, or you can use a timer. Maybe set a timer for 2 minutes per group, and then 2 minutes per pair of groups, and so on. So you can really spend quite a lot of time here, but making sure you get really solid reps, and that will help your overall technique a lot, especially if you focus on things like this, where the finger choreography and the transition time. So try that out if you've had any issues with this stuff. Other than that, work on your general alternate picking, because it's really important, if you want to develop a specific technique, that you go not necessarily all in on that technique, but do it more than other techniques for a while. You can be a bit lopsided in your practicing. That's fine. So you can really give yourself time to develop that technique to a higher level, and then you can sort of pull back and spend less time on it, because it takes way less time to maintain your technique than to develop it. So when you want to develop something specifically, whether it's alternate picking, hybrid picking, your ear, whatever it might be, you are really gonna gain a lot from spending more time on that particular thing for a limited amount of time. All right, that's it for this one. If you have any questions, just post them below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.